Hey everyone, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon Gold with only one Spinarak was surprisingly easy, so let's follow that up with another highly requested tag team run. Today's the day that we figure out would I be able to beat Pokemon Emerald with a team of only Beautifly and Dustox. Let's start with their stats. Beautifly on the left, Dustox on the right. As you can see, they're pretty typical mirrored Pokemon, with them mostly being same as the other than Beautifly's better attacking stats and Dustox's better defensive stats. By level up though, they mostly learn totally different moves. Beautifly is Bug and Flying, two types that only use attack in this game rather than special attack, but we do get some grass moves at least. Dustox is Bug and Poison, and we don't learn any attacking poison moves by level up. In fact, even by TM, the only attacking poison move we can learn is Sludge Bomb, and that won't be until after the 5th gym. They've got a few good TM choices in there, but we won't have much luck with the same type attack bonus. Like always, I'm writing the script as I go through the challenge, so if this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I'm confident that I can win, but it might take a long time. Our moves are pretty weak, so I'm expecting long grind sessions. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use Beautifly and Dustox, and of course the pre-evolutions of Wurmple, Silcoon, and Cascoon. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. So right off the bat, I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Trico with Wurmple so that we can do the whole run with it. I picked to replace Trico so that our rival would have Torchic, probably the hardest for us to fight. Now, our starting Wurmple has to get nicknamed before we actually know what he's going to evolve into, so I'm not going to think too hard about the name or I'll be here all day. Let's go with Chuck. Our nature is mild, so more special attack and less defense. That should be helpful regardless of what he ends up being in the end. Stats-wise, we're looking awful, but we're a Wurmple, so what do you expect? We'll be fully evolved by level 10, so we should already have our full team by the Rock Gym. Right away, I fight a few wild Pokemon to evolve and see what he becomes. It only took a few minutes, but Chuck evolved into Cascoon. That means he'll become Dustox. That's not bad. Our special attack nature might actually make some of his psychic moves worth using, although I would have preferred more attacks so that we could possibly sweep people with Sludge Bomb later. After that, I beat May so that I could get Pokeballs, then start catching Wurmples. The ones with good natures are the ones I'll bother leveling up. Let's just hope that it doesn't take too many tries to get a Silcoon. What Wurmple evolves into is based on an invisible stat, so it's basically random. After catching a few potential tag team partners, we get this Wurmple with Brave, so more attack and less speed. If this ends up being a Beautifly, that would be a really good nature, seeing as both our Bug and Flung moves will use our attack stat. After that, I switched trained to level 7, and crap, another Cascoon. This is probably going to take a few tries. Thankfully, the very next Wurmple with a good nature that I ended up catching became a Silcoon. This one is quiet nature, so less speed, more special attack. I'm fine with that nature too. It doesn't help us with our same type attack bonus moves, but our special attack is Beautifly's best stat anyway. And hey, we only had 3 total dud Pokemon during the process. I was honestly expecting to have at least 15 with bad natures, or that evolved into the wrong Pokemon, but we got really lucky. Anyway, by the time we got to Rustboro, both of our Pokemon are level 9. Seeing as there's no way we'd beat Roxanne like that, I just topped them off by fighting some wild Pokemon so that they evolve. Roxanne is a rock trainer, and both of our Pokemon are weak to rock. In fact, Beautifly is double weak to it, so this might be rough. We do get Absorb though, so that might carry us through. By the time we're actually able to get anywhere near this fight though, Beautifly is level 13, and although it starts great against the Geodudes, neither Chuck nor Trent can deal almost any damage to Nosepass. We don't have any alternatives, so I'll come back a few levels higher. I get both Chuck and Trent up to level 15 each, and even after solid attempts where Rock Tomb misses once, we still don't come even close to taking down Nosepass. Knowing that she has potions she can use after that Oran Berry doesn't fill me with confidence. I'll try again in 2 levels. Maybe we could win with a crit by then. 2 levels later, and I just need you to watch this, because this is easily one of the luckiest exchanges I have ever had in a Pokemon run. We have Stun Spore now, so I paralyzed Nosepass, but went down to Rock Tomb. I thought this attempt was doomed, but not only did Confusion confuse Nosepass, but it hit itself in Confusion 3 times, and was fully paralyzed so often that even with her Oran Berry, 2 potions, and me never critting, we still won. That was insane. The fighting gym right after was an easy first try thanks to us having Gust. Trent was able to take the whole thing out on his own. Now is on to the rival fight that is usually the hardest, and like usual, it was. It was for sure easier than it had been in the past, but even with our new healing moves we just learned, we couldn't keep Trent healthy enough to hang on. Chuck was able to take out the rest of her team pretty easily, but we were having troubles with May, so there's no way we're ready for the next gym. Naturally, I opt to take out all the local trainers for some easy experience. It's not the fastest process in the world, but it's still better than grinding in the wild. By the time we fight Watson, though, it's not even close. See, his Magneton is pretty much a brick wall. Every single move we have is bad against Steel or Electric, and Trent is part Flying type, so he pretty much can't fight him. All I can do is whittle him down with Chuck's Psybeam while healing with Moonlight to try and hang on, but it's just too much. I'll need to level up more. I try a few levels later, and although we hang on much longer, we can still hardly deal any damage. Being paralyzed and confused at the same time really doesn't help. This battle is always a hard one. Finally, a few levels later, and we were able to win the fight, mostly just because we learned Silverwind by level up. It's only a 60 power bug move, but it's the strongest we've got, and sometimes it boosts all of your stats by 1 stage, so that helps. Anyway, after that was the Maxi fight, but it actually ended up being really easy. I thought Camerupt would take us out, and he could have, but he decided to use a ground move on a flying type before switching to Ember. Incredible work, Maxi. I see how you became the leader of Team Magma. Naturally, the Fire Gym is just too difficult for us right now. We can't win any water or ground moves, and Overheat does massive damage to our bug types. Once again, we're left with no options but to get as strong as we can. I try this fight tons of times every level, and although we're for sure getting closer to victory, her Torkoal is a beast. Even if we get lucky with crits and hardly get hurt, the second we're up against it, we go down to Sunny Day mixed with Overheat. Paralysis sometimes gives us more chances to attack, but we still don't do enough damage. If we use Toxic, we could deal damage faster, but then we can't hang on long enough to win. This fight is brutal. I mean, until this random run where they just stopped using fire moves, genuinely, I have no idea why they did that. She one-shots us with Sunny Day Overheat on every other attempt. Gen 3 AI just does weird stuff sometimes. With that done, we have to do the normal gym, but on my way, I took the Rude Fossil. I knew that if I didn't say what I took, you'd all ask. Actually, now that I think about it, everyone ask anyway. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. The normal gym fight was one I thought might be a bit rough, but it actually ended up being pretty easy on the first try. Trent went down to the belly drum and slash combo, but other than that, it was really easy. Toxic did a great job of shutting down slacking. After that was the last May fight, but she hardly landed a hit on us. Even with her having a fire type with some flying moves, it's still part fighting, so Psybeam does a great job. Flying gym time. Swablu and Tropius were both no problem at all, but Pelipper caused some issues. We did plenty of damage with Giga Drain, but we hit ourselves twice in confusion and took big damage off Aerial Ace. She ended up using a Hyper Potion to heal back up and confused us again. We ended up hitting ourselves 4 entire times just against Pelipper, and Trent fainted as a result. Chuck finished it, but next is Altaria. We instantly used Toxic to poison her and went for Silverwind to hope for a buff. We didn't get it, but the crit was nice. Our health was crazy low though, so I started spamming Moonlight to hang on. I was worried when Altaria dropped into red health, but thankfully she used a Hyper Potion, not a full restore, so one lucky Silverwind boost later, and between the poison and the Psybeam, we were able to take her down. Last was Skarmory, and Toxic won't work, so I used Moonlight right away. This was a long and brutal fight where our only attacking moves do almost nothing, so I had to keep healing with Moonlight when our health was low, and using Psybeam for damage when we can. We actually ran out of Moonlight uses and ended up winning with only 19 health left. That was intense. So this isn't common, but the next Maxi fight actually shut us down. This is a particularly bad attempt, but we always go down to either Crobat or Camerupt. Crobat loves Confuse Ray and Wing Attack, and Camerupt's Rock Slide is quad effective against Chuck. We'll have to come back at a higher level. All the way at level 50, we finally had our first successful attempt at this battle, and weirdly enough, Chuck did it all by himself. Honestly, if they had chosen better moves, I would have just lost, so luck was absolutely involved. But I'm just happy to be past this fight. After that is the Psychic Gym's double battle, and this one was kind of amazing. I thought it might be hard, but even with my incredibly dumb move choice, we still won. I had just woken up, so I kept making weird mistakes like trying to use Moonlight on Chuck when I meant to use Morning Sun on Trent, or Psybeam on Xatu when I had Silverwind, but in the end we won anyway. After that was Archie, who was much easier than Maxie because of his Sharpedo. Have I ever lost to Archie in one of these runs? You might actually have to remind me. After that is the Water Gym, and it's the worst thing ever. Our biggest problem for a lot of this run has been that we don't deal much damage. Normally, we can still get by because of our ability to heal easily, but against Kingdra, we don't stand a chance. He's got rest, so we can't get Toxic's poison to stay, and he spams double team, so we can't hit him consistently enough to win. Once again, we're left with no choice but to level up until we can deal a reasonable amount of damage. I try again all the way at level 60, and although it was still starting rough, Silverwind powered up all of our stats a bit, and then a lucky crit took him out before he could rest too much. Crawdaunt was last, and he was a one-shot, so I'm just happy that we could finally win this fight. Grinding in this area is brutally slow. Speaking of needing to grind though, we actually lost the Wally fight. I can't remember the last time this has happened. Yet again though, we can't deal enough damage. Would you look at how little damage we're dealing with every attack? We're in a rough place. The only thing we can do to boost our power of our moveset would be Aerial Ace as a slight upgrade to Gust, Sludge Bomb for Chuck to deal more damage, although it wouldn't work on Magneton, and Return for sheer power. Honestly, I can't see any alternatives, so let's go with those. After learning those moves, we were able to take down Magneton, and the rest of Wally's team was pretty easy, but we didn't exactly overcome our crippling weakness to steel types. Return hardly did more damage, and more than anything, we were just getting a bit lucky. Sludge Bomb is nice on Chuck, but his attack stat is still very low. In fact, let's look at our stats. Our attack and special attack are really bad, even by the standard of these challenges. Maybe we could beat Sydney's team with Silverwind, but anything beyond that would probably be too hard. Let's get Chuck and Trent up to level 65 each for a little more power, then we can give it a try. Make your final guesses on if we can win this or not. Let's do this. First is Dark Trainer Sydney. I didn't exactly play this one optimally because I was hoping to save some Silverwinds, but it still ended up being a reasonably easy first try. Still, we took massive damage in the process. I bet I could grind this fight if I need to though, so I'll keep that in mind. Second is Ghost Trainer Phoebe, and this fight isn't even close. They spam Protect and Curse, and we hardly deal any damage with our moves. Not only that, but because her Dusclops all have pressure, we run out of power points. I could go grab the TM for Shadow Ball, but I'm not really interested in replacing any of my moves, and we don't deal nearly enough damage to beat Drake or Wallace anyway, so there's no point. I may as well just grind against Sydney. Here we are, a few levels and some power point ups later. We tried to beat Phoebe quite a few times at this point, and we still can't get a single win. I haven't even gotten to her final Pokemon yet. All of Chuck's moves are resisted, and Rock Slide is quad effective against Trent. I decided after that to go to the Shoal Cave and get the salt I need for the Shell Bell. I'd love to have 2 of these, and I might need it if the challenge takes another day's worth of work, but I have to wait until the correct tide levels and for enough time to pass to gather the ingredients multiple times. Still, I can't really get any type powering up held items that I'm interested in, so a Shell Bell is our best bet. After countless attempts, finally at level 77, Trent was strong enough to handle most of Phoebe's team. It's still really difficult, and we need a little bit of luck with her move choice, but at least we're able to two-shot most of her Pokemon with Aerial Ace. Third is Ice Trainer Glacia. Thankfully, this one was a very easy first try. Giga Drain does a great job against most of her team. Fourth is Dragon Trainer Drake, and this is an ugly battle. Shelgon was an easy 2-shot, and Altaria was a 2-shot as well. Flygon went down in 2 hits, but not before dealing solid damage with a flamethrower. Salamence is when things got brutal. Intimidate dropped our attack, Return did a bit of damage, and we instantly went down to Rock Slide. With Chuck, I hit a big Sludge Bomb, but it left Salamence with just low enough health that he used full restore, and his Rock Slide nearly took us down, so we had to use more Moonlight. If it wasn't for him missing Rock Slide and us getting a lucky boost off Silverwind, we probably wouldn't have been able to beat him. Last is Kingdra, so I instantly hit Toxic just in case of double team. He ended up using Dragon Dance, so I took my chance to heal, then spam Silverwind to hope for more buffs. We ended up losing accuracy to Smokescreen, and we had to reapply Toxic because of his full restores. In the end, I ended up spamming Moonlight every turn while letting him take poison damage so that we don't have to worry much about our low accuracy, and it turns out it paid off. Finally, Pokemon Champion Wallace. Wailord is first, so I instantly Giga Drain it to a sliver of health just in case of Water Spout, but he used Blizzard instead to drop us below half health, then he did a full restore. A second Giga Drain brought us back up to full health, while bringing him down to a sliver, so we were able to finish him easily on the next round. Melodic took decent enough damage from Giga Drain, but he's also special defense tank, so I ended up using Return after his Ice Beam just to take him down to a sliver. He used Recover, so I just used Return for the knockout. Tentacruel is third, and it seems like he's got a lot of ice moves, because we take some serious damage before he goes down. Out to Chuck to deal with Ludicolo, and he goes down in one big Sludge Bomb. Fifth is Whiscash, so it's back out to Trent to one-shot him with Giga Drain, and last is Water Onyx, so our attack is down to Intimidate, but we use Return anyway for little damage. He just uses Dragon Dance and Surf though, so although he's faster, he doesn't do much. 2 returns and a Giga Drain secured us the win. With that victory, we win the run, but it's not over yet. As brutal as that fight was, we have to at least attempt the post-game fight with Stephen Stone. Now, I am nearly fully convinced that I can't win because of his steel types, but I'm willing to try. I'm gonna grind for the rest of my workday, spend the last of my rare candies, and we'll just try fighting him at whatever level we end up at. Let's give this a try. So hours later, we try throwing our team at Stephen Stone, and hilariously enough, it goes exactly as you'd expect. We literally couldn't take down his first Pokemon. I mean, look at this. We're level 92 and 89, and we can't take down a single Skarmory. It wasn't even because of Toxic like usual. We just do almost no damage at all. If we're doing this little damage now and we can't learn any fire moves, then there's just no way we can take him down. Toxic doesn't work on steel type, so we can't even go that route. I think it's fair to say we can't take down Steven's team. Well, that honestly surprised me. I didn't think that damage output would be that massive of a problem. I knew it would be bad, but I didn't think it would be that bad. I really hope you guys like the run. For next week's challenge, I'm gonna do my very first ever challenge in Elder Scrolls Skyrim, when I tried to beat the game with no magic or magic equipment. As always, I'm looking forward to your suggestions in the comments, in the challenge requests section of my Discord channel, and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. If you want to see me do more challenges like this, please let me know in the comments or on Twitter. I can always use more ideas from you guys on what I should do next. Also, check out the playlist in the description if you want to watch all the Pokemon challenges that I've already uploaded. If you guys want to see more Pokemon stuff from me, my friend Whatageek and I have done randomizer playthroughs of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Black and White, Red and Blue, and now we're doing Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire over on his channel. Linked in the description, of course. You can also watch myself, Whatageek, and Gooseit playing Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon X here on my channel. Also, come to my Twitch TV streams and tell me that this video sent you. It's always cool to hear how you found the channel. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.